All right, guys, so the secret is out. Hickory, North Carolina is all over national news as being one of the best little towns to move to from all over the country. People are moving here. So, what makes Hickory, North Carolina such a great place to live? It's just outside of Charlotte. So, stay tuned and we'll jump right in. So guys, the first thing we're going to start with that we want to share with you is specifically a part of Hickory that we call downtown. And if you're from a big city, you may be like him and put air quotes around that because it's not a major metropolis.
It's not like downtown LA, yeah. I know.
But
downtown Long Beach or downtown San Diego.
Yeah,
so I go, it's downtown, but it's really
growing.
Nice.
It's growing. And there's some really good stats, and we may be able to put them up on the screen here, of the foot traffic in Hickory, downtown Hickory, that per capita for our population, there's actually a lot of pedestrian traffic and young working professionals, people that are exploring the city and taking advantage of all that it has to offer. And that's a big part of why people relocate here, is they like that sense of small town community, but there's things to do. It's very active.
And you can still commute 45 minutes to an hour to Charlotte.
And that's hence why I think it's got us on the map, is we're within 45 minutes of a major city, being Charlotte. So there's a lot of people that work in Charlotte, live in Hickory. So specifically to downtown Hickory, just to give you an idea of what that looks like and what the day-to-day is. There's a lot of growth there. There's a lot of apartment complexes that have popped up that's got these nice office spaces underneath. In fact, our office happens to be under one of them.
Yep, and there's new ones being built as we
popping up, yes. So lots of access to city walking trails, lots of activities like music.
That's right, the city walking trail. They just opened it. Actually, the inauguration, I think, is
April 4th. They're doing like a ribbon cutting.
Yep, they're doing the ribbon cutting so people can walk from one end. I think it's a 2.5 mile.
It's longer than that.
Maybe 3 mile walk.
It's really great. And we'll do a whole video about it. We want to actually take you on a walk there.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yes. So city walk, the thing that I think unique about our downtown Hickory is that there's like old buildings that have been revitalized. Like there's an old train station that is now one of the best restaurants to eat at, the Hickory Station. There's all these little blocks of, like an old original theater, that still has that vibe, like it's like an old theater. But then you can walk down 2 blocks and you have like this really upscale sushi place, and this, great new life being applied to like the character of like old spaces. And that's what Hickory is known for. And we're going to get into that more too, is that revitalization.
Yeah.
So lots of summertime events. Downtown Hickory always is the place where they host Oktoberfest.
They got those antique stores too.
Parades, antique stores.
Yeah.
So we love downtown Hickory. It's also where you'll find the farmers market, and we'll get into that in a little bit as well. Just a lot to do. Music, there's all kinds of live bands and jazz music and swing music under the stars. They do a lot of evening.
That's my favorite part, I think, about downtown. They do all these events around now, coming up in spring, summer.
Yeah.
They do these live bands. Another cool thing when you're downtown there, they have these speakers all around downtown.
There's
they have
music
like music.
Around
so you're walking, there's music.
And there's free Wi-Fi. They have this program where if you're in downtown Hickory, you can tap into the Wi-Fi. Yeah. So it's got that southern charm. There's these big shaded, we call them the sails, big shaded areas where there's rocking chairs. So you can have a picnic, you can take a walk, you can go shopping, dining. I mean, you can... There's a lot there.
The park for the kids.
The Lowe's
right next
park.
Right across the street.
It's really cool. It's one of our newer parks in Hickory. And it has like this big circular globe thing kids can climb up in.
Climb in there.
And the ground's squishy, so if they fall, they don't break anything. So
yeah, my daughter was up there last summer. She was in there.
Our kids love it.
Oh yeah, last summer too. They had that. They have like little programs for kids. If you have your kids, you want to put them in like summer camps. Mm-hmm. They have one right in downtown Hickory, which was
art camp in downtown Hickory.
The art camp, that's right.
Our kids go. Yeah. So splash pad, things like that. So I know that's a really broad way to describe downtown Hickory because it sounds like it has a little bit of everything, and it's because it does. And that's why we wanted to make it number one as we introduce Hickory and what it's all about is specifically the downtown part of Hickory. So it had to be number one on our list.
Hey guys, welcome to Living in North Carolina channel. This channel is your ultimate guide to the authentic North Carolina experience. We cover everything from daily life to all the fun stuff in between.
So if you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and give that like button a tap. It helps others find our channel more easily.
Bing, bing.
So while you're at it, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you're always in the loop when we drop new videos.
We're Adriano and this is Katie, and we're real estate agents right here in North Carolina. We absolutely love it when people contact us about their upcoming move for North Carolina, whether through text messages, a phone call, or a quick email. Reach out to us and we can help you every step of the way. You can even schedule an appointment on our calendar using the link below.
So no matter how you choose to get in touch, know that we've got your back when it comes to making the move to North Carolina. Guys, so if you've heard of Hickory, North Carolina in the past, you may have associated our town with the production of furniture. And if you travel through a lot of our area, you'll still notice there's a big theme of furniture and factories. Now, obviously, over time, a lot of the manufacturing of furniture went overseas. So one thing that I really love about our town and that we're known for is revitalization. There's a lot of areas that you can go through in our country and you can tell where maybe a certain industry was prominent and now it's dead. And now there's a ghost town of sorts of what used to be there.
Yeah.
And what we love about Hickory is a revitalization. You will notice that there are old furniture mills that, yeah, they could have been abandoned and they could have just been like a ghost town, but they now have repurposed them and made them into these beautiful spaces. I could list a whole bunch of them. One that comes to mind is Moretz Mills. If you're local, you know which one I'm talking about. There's a lot of old mills, furniture mills, hosiery mills, things that used to be major industry in our town. And those industries have evolved and shifted and moved overseas in some cases. And they've now repurposed those buildings into event centers, churches. They've done a beautiful job giving it new life.
Some restaurants.
Yeah. So it's like it takes this character of these old buildings and it makes them like really upscale and cool and like a place you want to hang out. And there's been so much growth and development around those spaces, and a lot of new businesses have moved into them and been very successful. But that's not to say that furniture is not still a major industry in Hickory. You will notice if you're on Highway 70, the largest, it's called the Hickory Furniture Mall.
Oh, so that place is enormous.
Enormous. What, 4
Huge.
levels?
It's like 4 levels.
Yeah, basically, if you're in the furniture world, if you produce furniture, if you are involved in it, that's where they showcase their product. And there are people that come from all over the country to furniture shop in Hickory, even to this day. I know that industries have evolved and changed, but that furniture mall is still full of all the major brands of Hickory, of furniture from all over the country. Yeah. And it's displayed in a mall. I mean, it's a true mall of just furniture.
You walk in there, it's like one store. You walk in there, their showcase. Next door over, their showcase. And again, and it goes downstairs, and it goes down this one long hallway.
Yeah, it's
up
huge.
In like 3 levels.
You can spend all day in there, and they've got like little places to eat. So, and there's hotels around it. The idea is people come here to buy furniture. So that being said, just had to make our list because that is something that is part of our heritage, and it's also part of the evolution of how we have repurposed a lot of those spaces. So furniture and the heritage of that and the new growth we've seen out of that had to make the list as number 2 of the things that you may love about Hickory. All right, guys, so number 3 on our list of things that we think a lot of people love about Hickory as they are coming to our little town right outside of Charlotte is the outdoor recreation. We've done a lot of videos about North Carolina and how there's a lot to do outdoors, a lot that's family oriented, but just kind of dialing in more specifically to Hickory because that's where I was born and raised, and that's where I grew up and played and explored, and now our kids do.
Yeah.
Hickory specifically has a lot of really great places to enjoy the outdoors. Lake Hickory, obviously, lots of boating and trails beside the water.
And that park that just reopened?
Yes. So there's a park. Now, to be fair, it's just across the bridge on 127. So it's actually barely in Hickory. It's just right on the edge.
Well,
But Wittenberg Access, if you haven't checked it out, look into that. And we could provide links below of all the great parks in town. There's a lot of beautiful, safe areas to take your kids and be outside. Walking trails, Hickory Nut Gorge, Hickory City Park. If it's a beautiful day in Hickory, North Carolina, people are outside. They want to be. It's springtime here. Everything's turning green.
Yeah, that's why my eye keeps watering. I keep scratching like this because
pollen.
My eye keeps watering, and it's the changing. Everything's coming back to life. That's where all the kids like to come out. I love to go out when it's spring, summer. Yeah. I also woke up this morning with a bit of a sinus. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the allergies.
So
that's that. But other than
check out the walking trails. Check out anything water related. Lake Hickory has a lot of activities around the water. Downtown Hickory, I mean, we kind of touched on that, but you could spend an entire afternoon just enjoying, all the many spots that they've put on the walking trails in downtown to sit, have a bite, just enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, and it's fair to say also in your neighborhoods. In your neighborhoods, just taking a walk in your neighborhood. My favorite part is coming out here is when everybody goes out and they have their walks. The kids are outside playing. Mm-hmm. We catch fireflies in the summer. Yeah. The girls love to catch them, put them in little jars, and then let them go. And after they've been in the house for about an hour or 2 hours, and we let them release them.
Yeah, we don't want them to die.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things to do, and it really is a difference, and it's really nice. Everybody's super nice, and that's one thing I definitely enjoy is you can just be at your house,
play in your backyard, because there's a good chance if you're coming from a really big city, there's a good chance that just where you live is more of an outdoor recreation area because you have trees and grass and green. So
the house that you purchased, it might have a lot of
land with it.
Yeah.
So get outdoors, and that's one of the things that we think you'll probably love about Hickory is we have a pretty mild climate. Even in the winter, it's not that bad. It's not that cold. So get outside, enjoy the weather, enjoy the outdoor recreation. Tons of spots for hiking trails, picnics, water sports. So that's one of the things about Hickory that we love that we wanted to share with you. All right, guys, so number 4 on our list of some things about Hickory, North Carolina that we think you will love. And I'm very proud of our little town as it has evolved and introduced new cuisine and things to eat and experience. We had to talk about the culinary scene because if you're from a big city, you may be afraid that moving to a small town like Hickory, and it's not a small town, it's a very nice sized town, and there's a lot of growth.
Mid-size.
We had to point out the culinary scene because if you're worried that you're not going to be able to get vegan options or good pho or good ramen houses or good
pizza, barbecue,
or sushi, it's all here, guys. It's worth exploring. And what I love is if you are somebody who you're coming from out of state and you have something that you really like where you're from, bring it here. Because one thing I've noticed about Hickory residents is they welcome that. Like they're like, hey, there's a new place opening up. Guys, we'll tell you about, there's a Peruvian restaurant.
Yeah.
El Baton.
That's really good.
Northwest Hickory. And it's the Peruvian restaurant. And that place is,
a lot.
Yeah, we eat there all the time. It's really, really good. We don't have that here. We never have had a Peruvian restaurant in Hickory. It's the first one. And everybody's like, hey, let's go try it. It's good. Now, one thing I've noticed about Hickory, they try it. If they don't like it, they don't go back.
You're finished.
You get one shot.
You're finished. That's right.
So that sounds terrible.
That's the one thing versus big city. There's
like 10 of everything, right?
This one you gotta do it right.
You blow it.
And you're done. You're finished.
Yeah, but they're very open to trying new things. And obviously, North Carolina is known for barbecue, guys. Every little local spot.
I have my take on the food there. There's one thing, and she knows this about me. Coming from California, I still haven't found a good Mexican place.
Everybody who owns a Mexican restaurant and watches this video is going to hate us.
I've tried them.
But he's a snob with the Mexican food.
They just cannot compare to San Diego with Mexican food. It's hands down the best.
I don't know.
I mean, there's some that are kind of close, but
I think
it's the cheese they put on it. I don't know.
It depends on what you grew up with. Because, guys, I can, eat my weight in queso.
If you're watching this, if you're local, put some, give me a place in the comments that you say it's pretty comparable. It doesn't have to be
authentic.
from Hickory to Charlotte, somewhere, because I'm still in the search
Still searching
for a good Mexican place.
Yeah,
I'm
he's still looking
thinking
for that perfect burrito.
Yeah, a California burrito.
Yeah. But we're talking about how good the culinary scene is.
Hey,
He
I
just
gotta
has
put my
unrealistic
input.
standards. From his
in there.
perspective, the Mexican food here is not as good as in California.
I'm gonna be
Now,
honest.
let's prove him wrong and comment below with the Mexican restaurants that you love, because I think maybe ignorance is bliss. I like the Mexican food just fine.
No, she tried it. She's not
It's
talking.
good there too.
She tried it in California and she said, "Yeah, this
It's
is
good there.
I see why you like it."
I don't see anything wrong with ours either. But you have to admit, our barbecue does win. Guys, I'll mention a couple local spots that we go to a lot. And this isn't like sponsored, and we're not like paid by these people. But, if you're looking for vegan options, because we try to be healthy, and for health reasons, we just like to go plant-based as much as we can. Plant-based Boss, downtown Hickory. These people know us when we walk in the door, and they know what we're going to order, and the food is always good.
Their burger tastes like a McDonald's
so
burger.
good.
I'm not kidding. I'm like,
Yeah.
That tastes like a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It's not even a real
So
cheeseburger.
The best places that you're going to find in Hickory are these little small places. That one's in downtown, actually. Little hole-in-the-wall places that, you ask your friends, you're like, where's a good place to eat? And you go back there over and over because it's so good. But there's a complete exposure of all different culinary experiences here. It's not just all barbecue in North Carolina, guys, and it's not all just deep fried everything. There's a lot of that too, and it is yummy. But if you want other options, there's plenty of it. In fact, in downtown, there's an old bank building. Again, it gets to the revitalization. This is what we love about our city. There's an old bank building that's like super, it was kind of
all gutted.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy when it was empty, but it's like this historical place, right? It looks like an old marble bank building.
Yeah.
It's on the corner, and somebody's bought it, and they're turning it into a food mall where you can experience basically food from all around the world in one spot. So I guarantee, that's a good example. I guarantee that's the type of thing that Hickory latches onto, because they're open to that and they want to try different things and they support it. So it's a perfect business idea for downtown Hickory, and I'm sure it's going to do very well, and it's being remodeled right now. So by the time, if you watch this video and you come out here, it may be open, check it out. But there's a lot of local places that we think you would like, and there's a ton of different options in the culinary scene of what you could experience just in Hickory. Not even mentioning, you can drive 30 minutes and go get it all in Charlotte and all the different areas like that if you like that space too. Sometimes we do. We'll go on a date night down to Charlotte, and
again, 35, 40 minutes away.
It's not far.
Anywhere you want to go, where you want to go.
So yeah, lots of little hidden gems, lots of food trucks, little hole-in-the-wall places. So definitely check it out and comment below with what your favorite hotspots are for dining and entertainment and things like that. So anyway, I had to make our list. Culinary scene, Hickory, North Carolina, it lacks nothing. So check it out. All right, guys, so number 5 on our list of things that we love about Hickory, North Carolina has to do with how family friendly it is. So if you are moving here and you have children and you want to know what are some things my kids can do, there's so much here to do as a family. And to do together as a family. We already mentioned a lot of the outdoor activities. Obviously, kids are drawn to being outdoors, getting their energy out, having fun, blowing off steam, tons of parks, tons of nature walks, tons of water activities you can do.
There's also that the jump house. What's that?
Yeah, Defy.
So
yes, and if you're a mom, because here's another thing too, it's all well and good to play outside, but I get it. If you're a mom and it's raining outside and your kids are driving you crazy and you're like, we got to go somewhere. We got to go do something.
And it's the summer.
It's
summer
summer
happens.
too.
You get that summer storm.
Yeah, rains in the afternoon or something.
Yep.
So there's a lot of indoor stuff to do too. So Valley Hills Mall has a little play area. A lot of people take their kids to that. Science Center, that's a big thing around here, guys.
Oh yeah, my daughter loves that Science Center.
Science Center is super fun. The membership is very reasonable. They've got animals, they've got an aquarium, they have a lot of educational things, and they have summer camps. So there's a lot of summer camps and activities and options here. Art camps, gymnastics camps, dance camps.
The outdoor, where we take the girls last?
Outdoor adventure camp.
Yeah. On the
and
lake.
There's a lot of faith-based programs. If you're wanting, vacation Bible school, if you're wanting exposure in that arena, I mean, you've got so many places that your kids can make friends, have fun, and it's safe. That's a big deal.
The first year I was here, I made the biggest mistake because I have to fly to California to get my little one. My little one loves it here this summer. I made the mistake to sign her up when I got here.
Yeah.
Little do you know,
you have to reserve these camps ahead of time.
Like now, like April time.
Don't wait till summer to ask
everything
for
was
summer
booked.
camp enrollment.
Everything was booked, and I
It's
felt
March.
like because she wanted to do the science center,
and they were full.
They were full. I couldn't get her. There's like a wait list.
So plan in advance, because otherwise you'll be
plan
disappointed.
in advance.
Yeah. So lots of things to do, not just in the summer, guys. There's even like Christmas lights and things like that. The Christmas parade. There's a lot of things you can do as a family.
Oh yeah, Christmas parade. They had it. It was right around November. They had it, but it's lined up. The streets were lined up. We participated because we were handing out candy.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, the streets were full of kids.
Oh man!
And they were out and they had a great time.
Yeah.
That's a fun event. I really enjoyed that.
And thinking about summertime and things warming up, guys, our little Hickory Crawdads baseball. It's cute. I love that little.
It's a minor league.
It's not. I mean, okay, it's not like I'm not like a sports person, but I'm sure. What is it?
No,
what level?
Yeah, but I think it's like minor league team.
Minor league.
But
they got Dippin' Dots and music and bounce houses, and our kids love it. I mean, it's just there's been a lot of fun that happens there, and there's a little park attached to it, and there's the Hickory airport right beside of it.
Yeah,
and I know it sounds really simple, but like my kids love to watch the planes take off and stuff like that. And they have a little airport museum.
Yeah,
it's really cute.
Some military jets there, old ones, retired. But the Crawdads is a really cool event. Like, I mean, if you want to go to a baseball game, there's not all this ruckus and people acting obnoxious.
Yeah,
really
it's all family friendly. Like it's not like people getting like how they get sometimes.
So
very, very kid friendly, lots of local events to do, and family friendly atmosphere in Hickory, North Carolina. It had to make the list. Lots to do, lots of fun, indoors, outdoors, lots of activities to do as a family. So check it out. All right, guys. So next on our list is talking about Hickory and the arts and culture. So you may think that if you're moving from some big city that you're coming to a small town like Hickory, and again, it's not that small of a town, but you may be afraid that, there's not a lot of exposure for my kids of the arts and cultural things, and you could not be more wrong. There's tons in Hickory. For instance, the Salt Block in downtown Hickory. Well, it's right off of Lenore Run Boulevard. It's not really downtown, but it's up in the northwest side of Hickory, the Salt Block. It's an acronym, and it stands for all the different arts and different programs, and we can put it down below all the details. You have symphonies, you have art museums. The art museum is actually attached to the Science Center. So whenever you go into the Catawba Science Center, you can then just go right and check out the Hickory Art Museum. And they even have like scavenger hunts for kids to make it like really fun. But there's all kinds of exhibits there, and it rotates out. So there's a lot to see there. Mm-hmm. The Western Piedmont Symphony in North Carolina, you should check that out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's even more, like the Blumenthal Art Center just outside of Hickory. So there's a lot to do here. We had to mention that. Hickory Community Theater, that's a big deal here, and it is in downtown. Great leadership there, excellent performance, a lot of up and rising like creatives that go through there and refine their skill, and it's a lot of fun, and we love to support that. In fact, our company, we bought tickets as part of a giveaway to promote, hey, go check out the Hickory Community Theater. And
then also the little murals. People are like drawing like Hickory murals around downtown and other parts of Hickory. You see these cool little murals.
So you can take selfies beside, like the wings. Like there's a lot of cool stuff like that. So there's a lot of that popping up in Hickory, and we just had to mention it because if you're wanting to enjoy art and music and theater and things like that, you are missing nothing in Hickory for that. There's a ton here, and there's a lot to do and explore. So it had to make the list of one of the things that this little town right outside of Charlotte has that you may like. All right, guys, so next up on our list about Hickory, some of the things that it offers is we want to talk about health and wellness. So not only does Hickory have some great medical hospitals, and we're not really talking about that, but if you're looking for the best hospitals, the Fry Hospital is in Hickory, and it's like the heart center of wherever. It's a really great hospital. We wanted to speak more to daily health and wellness and all the ways living in Hickory can be conducive to a healthy lifestyle and active lifestyle. So obviously we've spoken about all the outdoor activities you can do, and all of that contributes to a happy, healthy, active lifestyle.
Yep, because
But
we do it.
yeah, we love
we
taking
do it.
walks and
We do a lot of the walks.
So there's a lot of places to do that here.
Yep.
But also there's yoga studios. There's a really good burn boot camp and on 127 that they are really good if you're trying to get in shape.
Burn boot camp, kick your butt.
Boot camp, you feel the burn there. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Also, fitness centers. There's a little gym in Hickory called the Spa Athletic Club, and it has been around forever. And the sweetest ownership at the gym, really good people. I mean, people that go there have gone there for decades. Like, they love that gym. And I think they even have like a little aquatics pool and stuff like that. And then, of course, you've got the YMCA and all your normal stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, something I wanted to touch on, because we didn't mention this in depth when we talked about downtown Hickory, is the farmers market. The farmers market in downtown Hickory, and again, we'll put a link below about that. They are very active in the community, and it just again points to a very big vibe in Hickory of support local, shop small. And by saying shop small, meaning, buy from your neighbor. Like, if you're going to buy produce, support the farmer next door. So that's a big deal here. And they sell more than just produce at the farmer's market. There's some really cool stuff you can buy, and it's in downtown Hickory. But it all, again, points to that active lifestyle, eating healthy, eating local honey, local foods that are grown here. So an abundance of that, locally sourced and organic and good stuff like that. So if you're into that, just know, like, there's tons of it here. And Hickory is a very great place to live if you're wanting an active, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, if you like
it's a big thing here. There's several golf courses.
Some golf communities.
Mm-hmm. Lots of outdoor recreation.
Yeah.
So it had to make our list, health and wellness in Hickory, North Carolina. All right, guys, so we had to include on our list some of the seasonal things that we love about Hickory. Hickory is known for celebrating just about everything. We have
there's like
a parade,
or
festival, and it's a North Carolina thing, and we could go into like slightly outside of Hickory and get into stuff like Apple Festival and Persimmon Festival and Woolly Worm Festival. We'll just talk about Hickory for now. So some of the events that you'll find, one, Oktoberfest. If you don't know, Hickory has roots tied to Germany back originally when we were established. Not to get into a Hickory lesson or a history lesson, but Oktoberfest is a big thing here, and it's very family friendly. It's like a lot of businesses and vendors and food trucks, and there's a lot of different beers and stuff to try. But it's like
live music.
It's a really like positive, family friendly vibe, and it usually brings out a huge turnout. So.
And people come from all over, not just from Hickory. They're coming from all over the place.
Live music, a lot of like German foods and things like that to try, bounce houses, things that, like, for the kids and stuff. But lots of cultural diversity and like this sort of community spirit. There's all kinds of events like that. Also, holiday stuff. We love fall, and we love everything that comes with fall and after fall. Pumpkin spiced everything. But as you get through fall and you're approaching Christmas, you will notice downtown Hickory like completely transforms. And we do a Christmas parade, and it actually takes place right before Thanksgiving. So it's like really gets you in the spirit.
Really early.
It's a little early, but it's a really big deal, guys. We actually participated in the parade this year with our real estate company.
Yep.
And
as we mentioned earlier,
my goodness,
everywhere.
I thought we would have enough candy we ran out of candy. I mean, there were just so many people. So it draws a crowd. So just know, like, ceremonies like that, and, there's ribbon cuttings for every new business that opens up in town. But seasonal events, holiday events, we love all of that here. So downtown Hickory in particular does a really good job of having like a little cookie crawl and having Valentine's events and having ribbon cuttings for the new city walk opening up. So we love our town, and we love to celebrate every new thing that we do.
And spring and summer, they have their cool little fun events as well.
Easter egg hunts and stuff like that. So we have to mention that because every season in North Carolina brings a different feeling in the air, and we love that. And Hickory's no exception. So we like to celebrate every little nuance of the season. So we had to mention it on the list because we think that's something you'll love about Hickory. All right, guys. So the last thing that we want to touch on of something that may actually apply to you if you're thinking of moving here would be housing. Hickory, it is growing. There's lots of new construction going up, and there's also a lot of older established communities that are very desirable, that have been well maintained, that are very in demand. So there's a lot of growth, yes, but there's also not a loss of that small town feel where your neighbors are friendly and not too hard to get around, because it's not like you've got this traffic like, you know, some other states that some people are from, California.
Yeah.
So it still feels small, but there's growth here. So one of the things you're going to notice about Hickory when you come out here is that the naming structure for our streets, and we could do like a whole tutorial on this.
We'll do a whole thing, and
it requires it.
We do other videos of when we start really diving deep into the different parts of Hickory, different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We'll go over that.
Yeah.
You know, because when I first got here, I was like, "What is
confusing?
Who
for
made
people.
This place?"
It's like a grid system.
It's like it was a map, and they just had grids.
Yeah.
And
we actually have a blog post on our website, and I'm like, we cracked the code. We figured it out.
Northwest.
Yeah, there's
northeast.
There's quadrant. It's basically north.
Southeast.
Yeah, when you say Northwest Hickory, people here associate it with a certain type of property, and if you say, you know, the Southwest, they know what that means, and it's like more rural. And then Northwest is near the lake, and so we use that.
As she mentioned, that's the most desirable.
Yeah, there's a lot of like higher end homes
areas
up there. Yeah, so you know, anyway, the housing and the naming structure and all of that. And another thing that's really funny, and he noticed it, and he pointed it out. We'd be talking like with other people that grew up here, local people.
Yeah, because I had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, whenever you describe, this is something I swear only Hickory does. Whenever you're describing where something's at, inevitably somebody will reference a spot of what something used to be. Like the landmark they'll refer to is like, oh, you know, where the old Kmart was.
Yeah. So remember we're talking about one shot at a restaurant.
Where the old this was.
Where the old this restaurant was. I'm like, I have no idea where that was at.
Such used to be. So it's for whatever reason, we never refer to the landmarks as what they are now. We refer to it as what it used to be. And it's really funny. And actually, Hickory Community Theater did a play about this called Streets of Hickory like 15 years ago. If any of you remember that. But it was this big joke of saying, hey, Hickory, where everything is known by what it used to be. So if you're local, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because we all do that, and I don't know why. Because maybe things have evolved a lot and things change, but people remember things how they were back in the day. So anyway, housing and location and all of that, those little nuances about Hickory, North Carolina that you might find to be like, oh, that's charming, that's different, I didn't know that's how it worked there. It had to make the list. Obviously, housing here is very affordable compared to a lot of other areas out of state. It's what we do every day, so we're well acquainted with housing. But it's just worth bringing up that there's many different styles of homes, many well-built new constructions that are moving into town, which is great. There's a growth here, and that's necessary. We need housing. So I like that we have growth here, but we also still have that character and these kind of old streets with these big giant trees that feel like they've been there forever, because they have been. And people love living here, and a lot of locals never leave here. And we've found a lot of people, that's why we're making this video, a lot of people are moving here.
Yep.
So,
and you got questions, reach out. You know, like I said, you can call us, text us, reach out if there's anything in particular you got questions about. Yeah. Because it seems to be people want to know about the grid coordinates and like, what's the best part of town? Like, what's this and what's that? You kind of have to talk to a local to know like the ins and outs. You know, there's just certain things that, you know, we hope this video is helpful. The whole idea is to be like, hey, if I were moving here, I would want to know this, or here's kind of like some little things that a local could tell you, or from the perspective of somebody that's moved here before from out of state and what that was like. So that's what this whole channel is about. So anyhow, we hope it's been helpful to you. Hickory has been all over the news as being like the greatest place to move to, and I couldn't agree more. But it has also brought in an influx of people that are asking questions about it. So we hope this video is helpful to you. We had to end on the housing and all of that. But any questions you have, just leave them in the comments, and any help we can be to you. So, All right, guys, so there you have it. There is some
little tidbits about Hickory, North Carolina, and some of the things that we feel make it special. That might be why it's been all over the news about one of the greatest little towns just right outside of Charlotte that you might want to consider moving to. So
hope you enjoyed the content, and especially about Hickory, because we love living there, and especially if you're coming from out of state, great place to look at.
Yeah.
Great place to consider. So hopefully all the information was good, and if there's anything you folks want to see, leave a comment below and we can get into other content that you folks want to see. So
yeah. All right.